Hello everyone, in this video we will see what is the purpose of learning digital logical fundamentals. As you are coming to the first day of the class and you are going to learn the digital logical fundamentals in this semester, let us first see what is the purpose of learning this digital logical fundamentals, and also let us see few terms which is technical terms which is used in the subject, and also let us see what are all the portions we are going to cover for this semester. Okay, so now here initially let us introduce the concept of digital. What is digital? Is digital or Boolean logic is the fundamental concept underpinning all modern computer systems. You all are aware of computers and its usage, and everywhere computers are used almost in all the fields, and you all know that the data that comes in computers, the digital data. So digital data, as the name implies, it is a binary data. It always has the value as 1 or 0, that is called as an Boolean values. It is a system of rules that allows us to make extremely complicated decisions based on relatively simply yes or no questions. So here in binary, since there is 1 and 0 are there, by these ones and zeros and the yes and no combination, we'll be able to create much complicated solutions for complicated problems, because everything is based upon the decision making, that is the logical system. And programming is another part where digital logic is used. So in the programming we all use the logics, that is digital logics. So understanding digital logic makes complex decision making possible in the program. So when you are making this decision by continuous decision making in multiple levels, you'll be able to bring some solution to the problems under consideration. And then let us see what is the number system and basis. As we human being, we have our language and number system, and we all know that what is the use of number system. We need to do the calculation for all our trading and purchasing and buying and selling, and for all the transaction, money transaction, we need the number system. Same way, the computers also need to transact between themselves in order to do some work for the user. So they also have some number system, and the base of the number systems are different from the number bases what we are using. So here number systems are the methods we used to represent the numbers. So we all know that we are all using the decimal number system, which is the common number system used in our day-to-day life by the human beings. And why binary? Computers and electronics are rather limited, so they cannot have the languages or the number system as the human being have. So here, and since the computers and electronics are limited, they have their lowest level of data. They really have only two ways to say any of the things: on or off, high or low, 1 or 0. So this is how the term binary comes. So binary means two state. The state may be either on or off, high or low, means 1 or 0. So the binary system consists of only two numbers, 1 and 0. And so almost all electronics rely on a base 2 number system to store, manipulate, or any mathematical calculation. So here with this base 2 number system, we are able to solve millions of problems that we come across in our day-to-day life. So now let us see some concepts of counting and conversion. So normally when we have number systems, we use the number system for counting, and also we make some conversion. So what conversion we make? We have money in our country as a rupee, and we convert that money into some other country's money. That is like we convert into dollars or pounds or reals or whatever the pounds, whatever the yen. So any type of currency we are converting from Indian currency to the other country currency. Why we convert all this thing? Why we make the conversion? In order to make the transaction between one country to the other country. So same way, when the computer system wants to transmit some data from one way to the other way, it is using the conversion concept. So let us see some few terms in this number system. The base of each number is called as a radix. Okay, and now the radix of decimal number is 10 and the radix of binary is 2, because decimal has 10 numbers 0 to 9, the radix is 10, and binary has 2 numbers 0 and 1, the radix is 2. The radix determines how many different symbols are required in order to flesh out a number system. In our number system, we have 10 numeral representations between nothing and 10. Something's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Totally we have 10 numeral representations. Same way in the binary they have 2 representations, 0 and 1. Each of those symbols represents a very specific standardized value. In binary, we have only 2 symbols, 0 and 1. But using these 2 symbols, we can create any number that a decimal number system can. So, in order to make the representation of one number to other number system, we are using the conversion concept. So, this is all about the counting and the conversion. Now, let us see some common terms. Binary values are often grouped into a common length of ones and zeros. Normally, when you say data consists of zeros and ones. Consecutive zeros and ones, alternative ones and zeros. So, the pattern may change. So, every position of the binary data has the value, and according to the positional value, the total value will be calculated. So, now here, this number of digits in a stream of ones and zeros is called the length of the number. Common bit lengths of binary numbers include bits, nibbles and bytes. What is a bit? Bit is a value which is 0 or 1, a single bit. Bit is the short form of binary digit. From there, a group of 4 bits is formed, that is called as a nibble, and from there we are making an 8 bits to make a byte. Let us see in a tabular column. So, length of this data is 1, which is a bit, example 0 or 1 we can put. Same way, length is 4, that is called nibble, collection of 4 bits, 1, 0, 1, 1, some example. Likewise, collection of 8 bits, which is the byte. 8 is the length, and here we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 number of bits in the byte. So, these are all the common terms: bits, nibbles and bytes. Let us see what are all the other topics we are going to see in this syllabus. We are going to see about the flip-flops, counters and registers. So what is a flip-flop? It is a circuit that maintains the state until directed by the input to change the state. That means the flip-flop is a circuit that maintains either 0 or 1. That means the flip-flops helps to store a single bit. In digital logic and computing, a counter is a device which stores and sometimes displays the number of times a particular event or a process has occurred, often in relationship with a clock signal. So here we have the digital clocks which counts the day, the minutes, the seconds. So that is the counter that helps to count the number of times the things has happened. We have a timer concept. And then counters are used in the digital electronics for counting purposes. They can count specific event happening in the seconds. We all know that we can set the timer in a digital clock. So when the time is over, it will give a alarming sound to say the time is over. So this helps to trigger the timer. And then, so what are all these things you are going to see? These are all some components inside the electronic circuit, digital circuit, in which we are going to see in the coming classes. Then a register is a device which is used to store such information. So register is a group of flip-flops. As we have seen here, flip-flop is a circuit that stores only one value, either 1 or 0. If it is on means it stores 1. If it is 0 off means it stores 0. So collection of flip-flops connected in series is called as a register, which is a group of multiple bits of data. And here there is a link given over in this description box. This link will help you to go to find out the conversion of the decimal number to the binary number, how the binary numbers are calculated for the given decimal number. Let us see a few more terms. The gates. What is a gate? A logical gate is an idealized model of computation or physical electronic device implementing a Boolean function, a logical operation performed on one or more binary inputs that produces a single binary output. Actually, what does it mean is we have some gates. We'll see in the later classes. These gates are the model of computation which based upon some calculation it produces a single output when given we are given a one or more binary inputs. So these logical gates are the building blocks of all the digital circuits. Logical gates are elementary building blocks for the digital circuits. Logical gates are used to build the circuits that perform the calculations. We can do many arithmetic and logical calculation by the logical gates. Then we have the Boolean algebra. It is used to analyze and simplify the digital circuits. So when you are having the digital circuits, it has so many gates, and in order to simplify those representation, like in mathematics, how we simplify the big equation into a small equation, same way in Boolean algebra also we are supposed to minimize or simplify the digital equations in order to get some solution for any circuitry. It uses only the binary numbers 0 and 1. It is also called the binary algebra or logical algebra. The Boolean algebra is also called binary algebra or logical algebra. Why? Because it has the value as 0 or 1. It also produces the value as a 0 or 1. So we can logically also we say on is 1 and off is 0. So these gates that forms the building blocks of all the electronic components like registers. Their registers are there and counters are there. In so many components are built using the gates. So that's all the basic topics and the common terms you're going to see in the coming classes. Hope it is easy to follow, and thanks for watching.